Blog Talk Radio.
Well, hello, Divas. My name is Candace Gish, and I'm the host of the Divas That Care. I am just so excited that each and every one of you has tuned in for today's program. We have an exciting one. I have an amazing guest today. Her name is Alexis Ellis, and you are going to love her story. She's somebody that is very inspirational. I had the opportunity to meet this amazing woman. Oh my goodness, last fall at an event, and I heard her story and really bonded with her. She's just so fantastic, the things that she's doing, and we're going to be talking about that throughout the program here. But for any of you who have just tuned in today for the very first time, I just want a big shout out and welcome you to our program because, what we are is now we are 10 women, so we're 10 hosts around the world that have the opportunity to interview amazing women like you that are listening to us. We love to empower and to inspire, and we love to share stories. So our hashtag out there is Divas That Care. So make sure that if you see that hashtag, to follow it and see where it leads you, because you might be surprised what's around the corner. Well, let's get started. Well, Alexis, welcome to my program. I am just so excited that you've come to be my guest today.
Thanks so much, Candace. It's great to be on Diva the Care.
You're the very first time onto our program, so I want to do a huge welcome, and I want to welcome you to our Diva family. So, Alexis, could you spend a couple of minutes, maybe introducing yourself to all of our listeners today?
Sure. So, everyone, I'm 38 years old. I'm a transgender with cerebral palsy. So, what I do, I'm a voice of both types. I'm telling people what can we do, what can't we do. I kind of teach people that we are equal, we are smart, we're a better person. We're not strange, we're not anyone else. We're kind of like, hey, we're human too. So I've been in this journey for 7 years. I was what they call it, closeted transgender from 2013 to 2017. And then from 17 on, I kind of came out and did major surgeries. That changed me a lot. I'm now into a church that is more spiritual way, learning how to be more spiritual and to be a better person. There is some bad things about being a transgender and have cerebral palsy is depression that I'm fixing up right now, and pretty much enjoying my life.
Yeah. When you're doing so many amazing things. And, Alexis, as I said, I had such an amazing time getting to know you when we were at our event there. And, it was so fun, and I really, your story, just to listen to you and then we'll talk with you afterwards. This is something that now that you are doing, you're spreading your message, you're breaking down barriers. And I would love to talk about the story. What made you decide to get out there and become an international speaker? Because that's what you are now. You don't just speak in Canada, but you've spoke in the United States. And I'm assuming you're going to be speaking in a lot of other places. So can you share a little bit about that with us?
I decided it was something in me that was I need to be the voice of transgender. And now I'm coming out and telling people I have both, and it's totally changed my speech. When you heard me speech the first time, now I got a whole new speech program or speech that is more combining both of them and telling people what it's like, my journey, some facts about transgender, some about cerebral palsy. So it's a great in the humor stories I'll be speaking for another group eventually this year when I figure out when I'm going to go.
I love that.
Some of them.
Well, and it's so amazing because not a lot of people would probably be comfortable and confident in themselves to be able to become a speaker, and you've done that, and you're an amazing person to get up there and start sharing. Can you tell us or share with our listeners today a little bit about some of these facts that you were mentioning right now?
So, like, there's some numbers that I learned last year, and what I've learned is 1 in 50,000 people in Canada has cerebral palsy. In 2.5 in 50,000 in Canada has gender dysphoria, another medical term for transgender and other or SAO. And having both of them is very rare. There's no numbers. So I'm like, wow, if I could speak up, more people would say, hey, I got both of them. Or I'm this. I'm not different anymore. I'm like a normal person. So I'm trying to help to get that voice out there, to broaden it out and say, hey, we're all even. Sure, we're different, but we're all a normal person.
Yes, we are. And I love that. And I love that you're speaking to people, because I think that it's really important to let everybody else know out there, and to have that understanding that we are all the same. It doesn't matter. Um, we're equal. Man, woman, black, white, we're all the same. And I think it's really important to have that conversation, because it's those barriers that we're breaking down and realizing what we all came from the same place, and we're all human, and we all need to be loved, and that's what you're doing, and you're sharing a lot of the love out there. And one of the things I'm really excited and for you is that not only are you a speaker, you're also an author. You've had the opportunity to be a part of some anthologies, and can you share with our listeners a little bit about that today?
Hey, so something that's more harder for me to do is writing a story. My little chapters. I wrote 2 chapters for Secret Horse Rising, but it is so hard for me to write it. So I wrote it. Then I kind of say, hey, do we have editing? Do it now. So last 2 chapters, the first one was a little bit hard. The next book I have will be more humor, more fun, journey about my life that I've been doing for the last 2 years.
That's fantastic. And it always is, isn't it? This first time you do it, it's always the scariest. And then after that, you're like, oh, look what I did. And I love that you're saying that now you're putting some humor into it. You're sharing how your journey is progressing. And that leads to right now, like Alexis, you were just in a BC pageant. Can you tell our listeners about that? Because I'm like, wow, like this is something that I couldn't even imagine myself ever doing. And because I've always been one of those people that loves to be in the background. And I'm thinking, oh my goodness, look at this amazing woman. She is now doing, she's speaking, she's an author, and she's going into pageants. I'm like, what an inspiration that you are to not just transgender individuals out there, but just to everybody. Like, I mean, you're 36 years old, and you're doing pageants. Like, that's crazy.
Crushing at 39.
Oh, sorry. You're 39. Oh.
Okay. I do look younger. Yeah. When I signed up for Miss BC pageant, I was like, okay, let's see what they will do. Yes or no. And they did a first interview, was smooth, it was great. The second interview was a group of them passed challenge or contestants rounds And I'm like, okay. So they were asking me women's rights, human rights, transgender rights, everything in the book. I'm like, go for it. And that was so perfect for them. They were shocked how good it was. I was like, how did I do? How did I do? They wouldn't tell me until a couple of days after they say, hey, you're in the semifinalists. I was like, oh, okay. And they never told me I was the first transgender until the media told me the second day of our pageant weekend. When I did my interview, I'm like, are you kidding me? And I'm like, there's no pressure now, but so I thanked them so much. Like, it was so powerful. And I had a group, there was a group there, and most of them saying, you should win, you'll be winning, you're going to win. I was like, no, I'm not going to win. I'm like, pretending I'm not going to win anyway. And they said, you should have won. I was like, no, I wasn't. I screwed up too many times, so I need to get better next year. And I said,
so
I
you're
want
going
to
to
be
do it
back
again
next year.
Good
Yep.
for you. I love that. And you're going to be 40 next year when you do it.
Yep.
Oh my goodness, I love it. I love hearing stories like this. With the Divas That Care, I always say that we have all these inspirational women that come onto our program, and they share their life stories, their life journeys, and it's amazing. And I just think that you are empowering so many people out there, Alexis, that you have no idea. You're such a strong individual, and it's really amazing to see this journey and to see how you're progressing and how you're growing as an individual, and the things that you're doing to help others. Sharing your message out there, not only with your speaking and being an author, now through the pageant. You're really getting your message out there to individuals.
Correct. I even am modeling too on the side.
And you're doing so many other things. And it's not just that. Like, you are busy. You support causes out there too. Can you share a little bit about that?
So I'm part of a humanity group in Mexico. I'm also just signing up to join next month with two groups for street people, what they call street friends. And I'm going to help them around my city and the other city, and first give them some support. As being part of the Miss BC pageant, they want us to be part of volunteering. And what I'm doing next month, I'm doing a Conquer for Cancer ride. My first time. I'm doing for breast cancer. But with my dad had cancer now, it's more serious now for me to do it. So I'm doing things a lot about cancer just for my dad, so he knows.
You're supporting
there's
him.
Support.
Yeah.
Partially for Heart Stroke Foundation, I support them too because they saved my dad. They're amazing. Heart Stroke Foundation is an amazing group that in Canada who helps anyone who has open heart surgery or any surgery in the heart. They are on your case.
You're amazing. Look at all the things that you're doing. How do you have time to do all of this, Alexis?
I'll figure out one day.
Isn't that the truth? Yeah, definitely. I think that, you're a very amazing, busy person, and I think that the busier you are, the more that you seem to get done too. And I always think it's a funny thing. I say that to my family all the time. They're like, "Do you have time?" I'm like, "Oh yeah, we have time to do that." And we just put it in the schedule and we just do it. And I like hearing stories like that. And oh my goodness, I didn't even realize all the things that you're involved in and, helping. I want to ask you, Alexis, do you have any messages of encouragement, any tips, things you want to share with our listeners that would, help them through their day?
Just be there, be positive, and love yourself. I learned that too a lot of myself about love myself, and I was told by a few others, and I'm like, okay, now I'm doing it. When you love yourself, you're getting more loved by everyone else too, because you're learning to love you know what your life is, and now they're inspired by you. So just love yourself, and enjoy life. Just a full moment.
I love it. What I should ask you before we end today, what things do you have for the future? I know that you want to prepare for next year's BC pageant. What other things are you going to be doing in the rest of 2019 and leading into 2020?
Writing another book, another chapter, I'm hoping, and who knows, be more into another pageant, if I could get into another pageant with my age, but others, trying to inspire others to be more active like me and help others. We mentor people too.
You do some mentoring for individuals.
Yep. I
love
even
it.
mentor another transgender while she's in her surgery, or had her surgery. I was texting her back and forth.
But you know what? I think that, I just want to thank you so much for everything that you're doing, Alexis. We are so excited to have you a part of the Divas family. You are exactly what the Divas are, is a compassionate individual that is, trying to support and encourage others out there. And, I want to thank you because it's people like you that are doing great things out there, and you're supporting others, you're mentoring others, you're just somebody that we can all look up to. So thank you so much, Alexis.
Thank you, Candace. It's so great
one
to
last
see
thing.
you.
Oh, I love seeing you, and I can't wait for us to get back together. How can our listeners, Alexis, get a hold of you if they want to, touch base? Do you have any social media that they can connect you with? They can connect with you on
Instagram. To be Alexis 777 or 777 CDN, or Facebook Alexis Gail Ellis.
Excellent. And I'm going to be posting that on our social media also, so that our listeners can take that and hopefully get a hold of you, because I to one of their events to speak at, or they can, as you were saying, maybe some mentorships down the line too. Well, oh my goodness, Alexis, I've had such a great time. Is there any last minute things that you want to share with our listeners today?
No, that's mostly it. Just enjoy your life and inspire others to grow.
Enjoy. I love it. And that's so true. Enjoy your life and inspire others. That's a fantastic thing to leave our show with. And thank you to all of our amazing listeners out there. Thank you for supporting the Divas That Care. It's because of all of you that we've continued to do our program now for 9 years. And we have amazing guests like Alexis come onto our program. All of our shows are recorded, and you can check them out at the divasthatcare.com website. And you can also pass our shows on to all your friends and family. I believe there's a show for everybody out there. So make sure that you take those shows and you pass them on. Alexis, thank you so much again for being on our program. Thank you to all of our listeners. I hope that each and every one of you has a fantastic day, and that you do something kind for somebody out there. Until next time, take care, everybody. Bye for now.